Rise and grind. Here's my name is Tetsyumi, and welcome back to episode 12 of our Terraria 1.4 Calamity mod playthrough. Now, if you guys haven't seen the last few episodes of our playthrough, we have essentially just been absolutely murdering bosses on our boss chart here. So we got into hard mode, right? We basically blitzed straight through cryogen. We upgraded our gear a little bit. And then right after cryogen, for the past 2 episodes, we have just been annihilating the mechanical bosses. We went from the Destroyer back down to the Twins, and then all the way up to Skeletron Prime, and in somehow a decreasing order of easiness. Like, the Destroyer was by far the hardest fight, and Skeletron Prime was somehow the easiest. But while we've been doing that, we have basically not upgraded our character at all. And obviously, now that all 3 of the mechanical bosses have been defeated, we now finally have access to these beautiful bars right here, these hollowed bars, and, you know, not to mention, like, the Souls of Fright, Souls of Sight, and Souls of Might over here. So, suffice it to say, we basically have a lot of stuff that we can craft in order to upgrade our character today, and that is going to be the main bulk of what I want to do. So if we go ahead and take a look at my to-do list here, you can see my absolutely giant list of things I want to actually craft. Now, most of them are weapons. I think for the most part, my armor here is pretty good. Like, this is the armor we got after we defeated Cryogen. This is from the cryonic ore. And honestly, I think this is probably going to be just a little bit better for us than making hollowed armor would be. I think the set bonuses for this is just going to be better. But again, with that being said, half of the stuff on this list here is going to be melee weapons. So again, we might end up going ahead and changing this this magic hood for the melee one, and then, you know, doing some stuff with that. But basically, the main thing I want to do this episode is just craft a bunch of really cool stuff. And then also this, I didn't put it on the to-do list because my to-do list is too long for the sign to actually, you know, keep writing. But after we go ahead and craft some cool stuff, I want to actually go back a little bit in the past in terms of progression, and go back and fight the Aquatic Scourge, and then possibly Brimstone. I say possibly just because I don't know if we'll have the time this episode to fight Brimstone, but at the very least, after we craft some of these cool weapons, I for sure want to go and give them a try on the Aquatic Scourge, which is kind of the next step in progression. Like, technically it would be the Calamitous clone down here, because we've already done, again, the mechanical bosses. But I do want to go back and actually fight all the bosses we can. So we're going to go back and fight Aquatic Scourge. But with that being said, we have a whole lot of crafting ahead of ourselves. So let's go ahead and start with the first thing in our list here, which is going to be this Gleaming Magnolia. And yes, I did my homework. I actually looked up beforehand all of the recipes for everything we need to craft, so I can definitely actually make everything on my list here. So I think to start off making this thing, we need to craft, let me go ahead and search it up in here. We need to craft a weapon first, the Mana Rose, which I'm pretty sure we need to make, first off, the Jungle Rose, right? And then, yeah, at that, there we go, we can make the Mana Rose. So this is just a really, I think, basic mana weapon. I think it fires like a bolt or something. Yeah, it fires like a little, like, flower bolt that lingers a bit and then explodes. Pretty cool. I'm surprised I never crafted this earlier, but apparently I hadn't. So we can go ahead and throw that now in here, and then craft the new upgraded version into the Gleaming Magnolia. So let's go ahead and search up Gleaming, and here we go. So I'm not gonna go super in depth in my my showing of the weapon like I usually do. You know, I'm not gonna go down here and spend an extra 10 minutes showing off the weapon. So I'm just gonna do it right here, right now. So let's go ahead and bring this guy out, put the super dummy there, and here we go. So basically, it does the same thing. Also shoots like a little flower. The flower will eventually explode. And the cool thing about the flower is the petals will actually home in, as you can see. Still a really cool weapon. I could see this being really good against, like, crowd control, stuff like that. And also, you know, this thing fires pretty damn fast. Like, the DPS you can get on this thing, oh my god, I keep looking over here like I have a DPS meter, but I don't. I need to get a DPS meter. But basically, this weapon is pretty good. Alright, the next thing on our list here is going to be the Ponage Hammer. The Ponage Hammer is sort of like an upgrade to the Pawn Hammer, but basically it is just a true melee hammer, which should be really cool. I don't think I've ever actually used it. So let's go ahead and do PW, and there we go. Immediately it shows up. So bam, we can go ahead and craft this thing. So what this does is this throws a heavy, gravity-affected hammer that creates a loud blast of hollowed energy when it hits something. And there's also a 20% chance for the hammer to home in on the target, and then, you know, homing hammers do a bunch of additional stuff that should be really cool. So if I go ahead and throw this, whoa, actually, yeah, I've never thrown this weapon before either, but wow. Okay, so it does throw pretty slow. But oh, hey, there was a homing one. You see, when it homed in, it spawned like an additional hammer that hit it. So let's see if I can like hit that again or something. If I get another homing one to spawn in. I don't know. It looks like there we go. Yeah, you can see like another additional little hammer flew out and hit it, which is really cool. And also it has this nice shockwave effect that I'm sure would also be really great for crowd control. Alright, and next up here is going to be the Catastrophe sword right here. So this sword is another fan favorite of mine and also just the Calamity community. And what the sword does is it's basically just a normal sword, except it also fires explosive energy bolts, and then also can be upgraded further into the Devastation, and then into the Devil's Devastation. I think this is the final one? Yeah, this is the final one, but basically, it can be upgraded similar to the Biome Blade, which we will get to later. And it's just a pretty cool sword, so we'll go ahead and fire it. And, yeah, there you go. You know, not anything super special, right? Again, this is kind of like the base form of the sword. But it definitely does a decent amount of damage. You can see it also does particle effects. Like, you can see there was the fire particle effect. There was, like, the frost particle effect. So, you know, it also does pretty good debuffs on the enemies. And all in all, it's just a good sword, really. Next up here, we finally have the one accessory that I want to craft, which is going to be the Angel Treads. So I think for that, I need to craft the Angel Wing first. Oh, not... that was the wrong word. Dude, I cannot type. Angel. Like, I don't know why I absolutely can't type. Why is it not showing up here? I think I need to craft... Is it called... Oh, it's called the Harpy Ring. That's why. Right. Yeah, here he is, the Harpy Ring. So we need to craft the Harpy Ring first, and then we can go ahead and craft the Angel Treads, or not. Right, because I obviously have to put my Terra Spark boots in the crafting thing here. So here we go. And there we go. Now we have ourselves the Angel Treads, which, if you guys don't know what these do, you can go ahead and read it here. But basically, just better Terra Spark boots. And eventually, these can be upgraded one final time into the Seraph Tracers. Actually, no. There's one more. Yeah, the Elysian... Wait, no, that's the final... Yeah, here we go. The Celestial Tracers. There we go. This is the final one. Basically, it can still be upgraded a hell of a lot. But again, it's just better boots. Pretty cool. These next four things here, I'm going to go ahead and craft in rapid succession. So first off, we got the Blood Orange. What this is going to do is this is going to increase our maximum life by 25. Then we want to craft the Forbidden Oaths Blade, which let's see if I can actually go ahead and... Yep, here it is right here. So bam, we can go ahead and craft that. The next thing we want to craft is going to be the thing I was talking about a little bit earlier, which is finally the Biome Blade. Now, this isn't the full final form of the Biome Blade. It can be upgraded further, but this is the non-broken variant. This is officially an actual blade. It's no longer broken. And then the fourth and final thing we want to craft is the Valkyrie. Valkyrie, I don't know. Valkyrie, Ray, whatever. Basically, I go ahead and search Val right here, and there we go. This is going to be another magic weapon that casts a devastating ray of holy power. So pretty cool. I guess let's go ahead and test this thing out first then, just because I've already read out the name. Go ahead and zoom out just a little bit. And here we go. Let's see what this thing looks like. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. So, it has a little bit of a charge-up time here, and while it's actually charging up, you can move the weapon around. But then once it's actually firing, you cannot move it around anymore. Okay, so it's kind of like a mini version of the last Prism, right? And you know what? It looks like it does pretty good damage. Like, I'm seeing like 130, 150 crits right there. Yeah, no, this thing is pretty good. And I'm sure just because it's like a ray, it probably pierces infinitely, right? Like, if I had to guess, I would say it definitely pierces infinitely. I guess go ahead and, you know, test it right here. Yeah? Nope, it totally looks like it does. Alright, pretty cool, pretty cool. Go ahead and test out the Godly Forbidden Oath Blade now. So this is going to be the upgrade of the regular Forbidden Oath Blade, which, if you guys don't remember, had, like, a cool secondary attack where you could charge the blade and then, like, dash and, like, do some weird, like, spinning fireball thing. It was pretty cool. But it looks like this version of the blade is more of the normal Oath Blade that I remember using, where it just fires out these cool demon sights. And, wait, do they home? No, I think it was just seeing things. But, yeah, pretty cool. Oh, as you can see, also, the actual hit of the blade let's see, fires a demon scythe and critical hits cause shadow flame explosions, which is pretty cool. So I wonder, these do the scythe crits also? No, it looks like just the blade crits will actually cause the explosion, right? It looks like it, yeah, but still, honestly, very, very cool. And then we have the superior Biome Blade, well, just the regular Biome Blade. But this is going to be, again, just like the normal Biome Blade, except in each biome you have to go and hold down the right mouse button, and then you can actually pair, okay, why is it not pairing? Let me go over here more, maybe? Yeah, there we go. Then you can pair it to the element of the surrounding area. And then once you actually fire the weapon, also, yeah, I see Solar Eclipse Gray. I'm trying to explain things. But then once you attack, once it's paired, it will have the effect of whatever biome you paired it in. So now that you see I paired it with the forest biome here, it fires out this little kind of blade similar to like the Terraria or something like that, which is very cool. And I actually don't know if they're all going to be the same effects as the regular Biome Blade. But I'll probably test that off camera, and if they are, I just won't end up showing you. But if they are different, then I'll definitely go ahead and show you guys. But I guess, unfortunately, first, of course, I have to actually deal with a solar eclipse, because what's better than dealing with the blood moon when I'm trying to record? A solar eclipse, yep, you guessed it right. But I guess, you know, a little bit of a good thing is now I have these pretty cool weapons to actually go ahead and test while I'm fighting this. And also, damn, this thing is just brutal. Like, honestly, so cool. Let's go ahead and test out the Magnolia thing here, because I feel like this would do really good with crowd control. And, yeah, no, it totally looks like it is. These things are going to be very fun to play around with, for sure. But I guess I'll go ahead and just complete this solar event. Also, damn, I died. But I'll go ahead and complete this solar event. I guess I'll just fast forward it so you guys can see the weapons in action a little bit. And then I'll get back to you guys after. And I guess we can see if we can take on some bosses. Okay, well, there you go. The solar eclipse has finally ended. That event always takes just way too long, in my opinion. But it was pretty fun. Honestly, I really enjoyed trying out all these different weapons. So, I'm gonna say this. All the weapons definitely have their strong points and also a little bit of their weaknesses. But what I'll say is the Valkyrie, the Pawn Hammer, and the Forbidden Oathblade, very good crowd control. I mean, specifically the Oathblade and the Valkyrie, I mean, the ray is just like an infinitely piercing ray, so of course it's gonna do good. And the Forbidden Oathblade, also, you know, the firing of the scythes that also infinitely pierce, also just does insane. The Pawn Hammer, honestly, kind of underperformed in the actual, like, grouped damage compared to these two, just because they do have infinite pierce, but it was still very fun to use. I can't speak. The Catastrophe weapon here, this weapon just does absolutely insane single target damage. The only thing I will say is that if you actually follow the projectile for a little bit here, you can see that the projectile itself actually doesn't have a crazy amount of range, which means it's a little bit more of a close range weapon, like really not noticeable at all. But I was thinking that if I do want to try this out on some boss fights, which I do want to, that I might need to be wary of that, because the projectile doesn't actually travel too far before it explodes, but just insane damage as always from this weapon. And then we got the Gleaming Magnolia, and this weapon, by far, was actually my favorite to use. Now, it didn't really do as well as, like, the Oathblade or the Valkyrie in terms of, like, crowd control, but just by far, it was the most fun to actually fire. Like, just firing a ton of these and then watching them all explode and home in on enemies was just so fun. And honestly, the actual damage it does is really good. Like, it might not do good grouped damage because it doesn't pierce or anything like that, but, like, the actual just regular damage it does, it seemed pretty beneficial to actually helping me out. And then for the last weapon here, this Biome Blade, I didn't really use it much. I don't know if you guys actually are gonna end up watching the time lapse here, but basically, if you watched it, you would know that I tried to go over here, and then again I tried to go over here into this desert to try and change the attunement here. And for whatever reason, it just like was not working at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and go try now to see if it will work. But yeah, unfortunately for some reason, while I was actually in the event, it just like wouldn't work at all. Like I could not actually change the like effect of the blade, which is really unfortunate because I definitely wanted to give this weapon an actual, you know, a try. Because if it's anything like the, you know, the broken Biome Blade, or even the Biome Blade that I remember, also, ooh, a Sandstorm. Actually, you know what, this is probably a perfect time to test out the Biome Blade, right? If this thing will actually let me attune, right? Let's go ahead and hold this button here. Is it still not? Is it really, is it because, like, I'm moving, technically, if I do this? Okay, so that time it worked. You know, maybe that was it. Maybe it's just because it was like a sandstorm. I was technically moving, so like it didn't let me attune. But there we go. And also, it looks like my theory was correct that it is just going to be all the normal attunements. But this one looks significantly cooler and also way stronger. So let me go ahead and bounce on this lady's head for a little bit. And yeah, no, I mean already this seems just a lot stronger. I gotta be careful not to die here because I don't want to die while I'm testing this out. But this is, yeah, no, this is insanely cool. It does a lot of damage, it looks like. Hey, yo, let's go! We actually got the waifu in a bottle! Oh, that's so hype. Also, I couldn't, like, actually read the name of it. I just saw the drop. Did it actually call itself the waifu in a bottle? I think it did. Because I know that the actual, like, so basically, this is going to sound completely off topic and random, but my favorite weapon in all of the Calamity mod is a summon weapon called the Heart of the Elements. Now, this summon weapon used to be called the Heart of the Waifus, because basically what it was is all of these elemental mommies, basically, they would drop a summon of themselves, and that summon was called, like, blank of the waifu. Like, here, it's called, element. Oh no, it is just called element in a bottle. No. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Because what it used to be called is like sand elemental waifu or something like that. And they were basically all the waifus. I don't know why, but somewhere in Calamity's history, it changed the name of the item and also of all these individual summon items. So now here, instead of being like, you know, the sand waifus, they're just called sand elementals. But on the lighter side, I did get 2 of them, which is pretty cool. So, basically, I just have, I think, what, 3 or 4 more to go? And, one of them actually drops from the Brimstone Elemental here. And basically, after we get, like, all 5 or however many there are, we can put them all together and craft my favorite item. In case you were wondering, here's what the item looked like, by the way, and as you can see, we have 2 of the 5 pieces we need. We get this one from the Brimstone Elemental, we get this one from this Cloud Elemental here, which we get in space, and then we get this one from the Leviathan, which, this one actually drops from the Siren, which is the little tank enemy lady you have to kill before you actually get the Siren to spawn in. But yes, all of these items used to be called their respective waifus, so obviously these 2, actually, I think this was just one item once. It was just one item. It wasn't like these 2 like it is now, but it was just like the sand waifu. This one, I think, was actually the only one that wasn't called waifu. I think this one was just called the Siren Song or something. Something like that. But then this was like the Cloud waifu, and this was like the Brim waifu or something like that. Oh, that could have been bad. Oh no, oh, okay, it was bad. Whoops. What attacked that? Did my god thing attack it? I'm sure it did. Well, okay. This is the Leviathan. Everyone say hi. We are not ready to fight him. Actually, where even is he? He is... You know what? He's not too far away, but, like, at the same time, he's after Plantera, and Plantera is a bit of a jump for us even still, so... Basically, I was trying to farm out some sharks so I could craft the seafood so I could go and summon the aquatic scourge, but that happened instead. Okay, so got my shark fins. I have enough now to craft the summon, and I also got something else that's interesting. I got the Joyful Heart, which says it's a developer item, and all it says is it's oddly warm, attracts the Forbidden One. I don't know what the Forbidden One is, but you know what? Let's go ahead and summon whatever it is in. Okay, so is it a pet then? Oh my god, look at you. Oh, look at him. He's so cute. Oh, what? I, I don't know what it is or what it's from. If you guys do know, tell me in the comments. Oh. yeah, no, he's an adorable little guy. That's what he is. Oh, we can read what it says. It says, the father, a father of many floats around you. Okay. Yeah, no idea what this guy is from. Maybe he's just a little pixel guy that one of the devs made. I mean, you know, who knows? But, he's adorable. I'm gonna keep him on in place of my, my destroyer thing, because he's just... Oh, he spins! Look at him spin! Oh my god! Oh my god! I missed it. I think I might have just got that on recording. But he did like a little squeak, and then he gave me hearts. This thing is a blessing. And just like that, we are finally in the sulfuric seas, ready to finally take on the aquatic scourge. So right before we do, real quick, I just want to mention, I think I'm going to primarily be using my actual melee stuff for this fight. I think I really want to try out using the Catastrophe and also the Forbidden Oathblade, and I mean, if I can, I would like to use the Bioblade, but I don't know if I'll actually be able to get that close to the boss in order to do that. But that is the plan. So as you can see, I got myself a few buffs. I didn't get any of the Calamity buffs because I ran out of those blood orbs that you get from doing the blood moons. And that's what I used to actually make the buffs. So I ran out. So unfortunately, just got some normal vanilla buffs here, as well as the Zen potion, which we'll go ahead and take right now. And then lastly, I went ahead and got myself two kind of new accessories. I got the Guarding Stinger necklace, which is an upgrade from the whatever it's called, I forgot, the shark tooth necklace. Basically, it's just the shark tooth necklace and honey put together, so I get the effects of you know, bees and a little bit of honey whenever I get hit. And then I went ahead and made myself the Bloody Worm Scarf, which does 7% increased damage reduction and then 7% increased melee damage and speed. So hopefully that should all help. And I guess with all that being said, we can go ahead and just get into the fight. Yeah, so let's go ahead and first off actually take my Blood Orange, because I keep forgetting to actually use this thing. So there we go, bam, and now we got ourselves 25 more max life. Now we can go ahead and take off all our regular buffs. There we go. Make sure I'm zoomed out all the way. And I guess let's just go ahead and give this thing a go. I don't think it's actually going to be too terribly hard. I'm pretty sure this boss is relatively easy. Hopefully I'm not proven wrong. But let's go. Once we actually hit him here once, then he will actually go ahead and start becoming aggressive and actually try and attack us. So yeah, if I remember correctly, basically he has like 3 attacks. He has those kind of like needle things that will home in on you. I think he has an attack that's similar to that, but it doesn't home in. And then I think eventually he'll probably start, yeah, he'll charge us like that with his actual head. And I think for the most part, that's like the entire fight. I don't think it gets too much harder than that. Probably, you know, just more projectiles and stuff if I had to guess. But I can go ahead and pop in my Adrenaline right here, which should do a lot of damage here. Oh my god, yeah, this guy is already down almost half health. Like, absolutely insane. Let's actually go ahead and switch to my, my Biome Blade here. Because honestly, just why not? He's going to charge in at us, right? Looks like he is. Alright, perfect. Go ahead and... Yeah, I mean, just insane damage. I really need to get myself a DPS meter. Oh, this is the 3rd attack. He leaves, little, like, poison clouds, I guess. I assume they're poison. I mean, they're the skull. I don't want to run into them, regardless, so, you know, I'm not going to. Alright, looks like he's right about to reach half health. And about now, also, damn, he came from above. I didn't even see him there. Maybe I should have the mini-map up like this. I probably definitely should, actually, now that I think about it. But, yep, looks like he's half health now. So I think... Honestly, I think this fight is pretty much all this is. I think, like, I don't think there's any other AI changes that are gonna happen. Maybe he'll get, like, yeah, it looks like he's just gonna get kind of normally faster. But I'll be honest, for the most part, this fight's not too bad. He's gonna do something crazy right there. I'm gonna go ahead and just not be a part of that at all. Ooh, I think I'm actually gonna die here. Oh, well, I didn't even see those. Wait, what are these clouds? They're green. Do those clouds home in or something? Okay, so it looks like there is a little bit more to that fight than I thought there was. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. So I'm gonna go ahead and give that fight probably one more attempt. I honestly think one more attempt is all I'm gonna need to actually take it down. But let's give it another attempt. Hopefully we take it down, and hopefully I do a little bit better this time. Yep, and there we go. 2 attempts, just like I thought it would. B. And, yeah, I mean, let's be honest, guys. That fight, it's just kind of like a mini-boss, if anything. It's really not a big, scary boss like the Destroyer, like any of the mechanical bosses. It's just kind of like a little lull in between Cryogen and the actual boss. Actually, you know what? It's after the twins. You see, that's really surprising, because the twins... Like, the twins wasn't necessarily hard, right? But it was definitely, like, a little bit tricky. The Aquatic Scourge, like, I'll be honest, he is this game's golem. He is just a complete pushover. Up until we get, like, down here to, like, the Ediolon Wyrum. Like, up until we get down there, like, this guy is just nothing. But you know what? I mean, we did manage to take him down, so I guess I shouldn't be too upset. And also, these weapons are just amazing. They are so great. I mainly used the Forbidden Oathblade during that fight just because it has way longer range than the Catastrophe. But when I got my Adrenaline, I did switch to the Catastrophe just so I could do a little bit more damage, because it does have, I feel like it has a higher damage. Again, I can't really test that because I don't have a DPS meter. But it just feels like it does, so you know what, it's whatever. We managed to take down the boss anyway, so it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But we can go ahead and open up the treasure bag now. 3, 2, 1, bam. And let's see what we got. We got first the Unpleasant Submarine Shocker. So this is like a little mini thing that releases sparks, and it's... Look at how many balls it comes out of it, because we have the Luxor's Gift on. That's so funny. And then we got the Strong Downpour, which is a magic weapon. Fires a spray of water that drips extra trails of water, which this thing is pretty cool. I completely forgot that this was a drop from this weapon. From this boss. I thought this weapon was a drop from, like, the Desert Scourge. But you know what? Fair enough. We got the Corrosive Spine, which is an equipable thing, and it's all rogue weapons inflict poisoned and spawned clouds on enemy hits. Pretty cool. Again, I'm not going with the rogue class in this playthrough at all, just because I want to do a separate whole playthrough only doing the rogue class. I feel like that'd be a lot of fun, but again, it sounds pretty cool. And then finally, we got the Aquatic Emblem, which basically does, let's see, being underwater slowly boosts your defense over time, but also slows movement speed. The defense boost and movement speed reduction slowly vanish while outside the water. Maximum defense boost is 50, maximum movement speed reduction is 10, provides a small amount of light in the abyss, and moderately reduces breath loss in the abyss. So again, this is just kind of like another diving accessory, almost. Basically, if I'm ever going down, you know, down here into the abyss, which is a little big section over here in the sulfuric seas, this would be just a good thing to have on. And then also we got we got this angling kit, which is pretty cool, just a bunch of fish and stuff. So there we go. But gamers, with all this being said, that is going to be the end of the episode today. Hopefully it was, again, a little bit of a shorter episode for you. I've been trying to make these episodes just a little bit shorter, just so they're a bit more digestible, somewhere in the, 20-25 minute range, if possible. And be sure to subscribe and stick around for next episode, where we honestly just take on more bosses, upgrade our gear more, and just see what these weapons can really do. So yeah, like I said, like, subscribe, do all that stuff, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.